Hi, welcome everyone. In this video I will talk about how to manage petty cash cycles and prepayment invoice types in Oracle Cloud Payables. As you know, petty cash cycles you can manage it through Oracle Cloud Expense. Also, you can manage the same cycles from Account Payable Cloud. In this video I will give you that there are 3 business cases for the petty cash if you are going to manage it through account payables. And we will talk about the prepayment, what is a prepayment type, how to use it with examples. I think for the petty cash 3 business cases, once you got what is these 3 business cases very well, the practice will be very easy, because I think the practice is the final step. So let's start. Petty cash cycles, you can use a petty cash to reimburse employees for small infrequent expenses. In most of organizations you can find that there are some employees that they take like a petty cash amount, they go to there and they bring some expenses, some infrequent expenses, smalls like this, and bring the invoices of these expenses and to apply or to net off the prepayment amount which they take it first. For example, you make a prepayment for these employees, you go to there and they bring some expenses, and by the end he come again to the accountant and give him the expenses. Accountant register these invoices as expenses and make apply it to the prepayment. So started by prepayment invoice, make a payment, a full payment, then register as standard invoices with these expenses, and he will not pay again these standard invoices, he just make apply and unapply for the prepayment. This is the petty cash cycles for employees in some of organizations. A petty cash fund also may save your administrative costs of processing big expense reports, all of these things, because as I told you that this is employees take some monies, bring some expenses, and close the prepayment invoices with these invoices of the expenses. You can use payable to pay out to the petty cash fund and to record expenses paid by the fund. As I told you that you start by prepayment invoice, make fully paid, again start to register standard invoice for the expenses, then apply and unapply for the prepayment. If we talk about the prepayment either in cloud, payable, or e-business or whatever, as you know that the prepayment is a payment you make to supplier in anticipation of their provisions of goods, services, whatever. Prepayment also in Oracle Payables is a type of invoice that you can apply to the outstanding invoices to reduce invoice amount. Once you make a prepayment, you must fully pay a prepayment before you can apply it, because as I told you before, once you make a prepayment, you have to pay it. Once you pay it, you will go to register all of the expenses invoices, but before that you must ensure that this prepayment status is fully paid. There is one setup, is not a setup that there is in manage invoice options. You can set prepayment options such as whether to show available prepayment during invoice entry. What does it mean? That once I make a prepayment for employee and make a fully paid for it, and now I am going to create a standard invoice of the expenses, these options allow me to show up that there is one available or two or three or whatever the prepayments available during invoice entry. We can check this in system now. Just navigate to the Oracle. I just log into Oracle and go to setup and maintenance. Just make invoice option or manage invoice option. This, select whatever ledger or business units as scope. Go to down, there is one prepayment. The prepayment, what's the payment term, what's settlement days, if you have a specific settlement days, and this is show available prepayment during invoice entry. Once you allow it, it must pop up one message to the users that there are one or two or three whatever prepayment invoices is still not fully applied to standard invoice. These options use distribution from purchase orders that you can also apply prepayment to a purchase order. That one of the distributions on the prepayment may be matched to a purchase order to apply it to the prepayment. This is the option in invoice options. So prepayment, there are two types of prepayment: temporarily and permanent type of prepayment. What is the temporarily? This is prepayment can be applied to invoices or expense reports you receive. So the temporarily, it's applicable to apply to invoices, standard invoice, whatever, debit memo, blah blah blah. It's once you make a standard invoice, you will and go to make apply and apply prepayment, you will find this type of prepayment is applicable or showing to you to make apply or not apply. What is example for this? Yeah, you can use a temporary prepayment to pay hotel, pay meal, whatever, small expenses, to apply it for the prepayment. The other type is a permanent. Permanent prepayments cannot be applied to invoices. Permanent, like for a long term prepayment for project like this, that once you make a permanent prepayment, you cannot apply to invoices. In this case, you have to come back again to this permanent prepayment and change it from permanent to temporary. Once you change it and again go to the standard invoice to check apply and unapply invoices, you will find this prepayment applicable or showing to you to make apply and unapply. For example, the permanent, that you can use a permanent prepayment to pay a lease deposit for which you don't expect to be invoiced. That it will not be invoiced now, it will be invoiced after 6 months, 10 months, 1 year, blah blah blah. So you just create it as a permanent. Once you make or you need to apply this permanent prepayment to standard invoice, you just change the type. Later I will show you how to manage the prepayment type during enter the prepayment, because there is one options. If you check this option, it will be temporarily prepayment. If you uncheck this checkbox, the prepayment will be permanent. Permanent means cannot be applied to invoices. Now if we talk about the petty cash cycles, as I told you that the setup, there is no specific setup for petty cash. We can talk about, for example, you can define, for example, petty cash suppliers or petty cash employees, that these petty cash suppliers is specific only for the petty cash cycles. Once you define it, you can give him a specific type. You can give them also specific liability account. This is up to your business, that for the petty cash employees or suppliers, I need to assign specific liability account with a specific type. So after that, after some times, if I am going to check trial balance of checking my reports, so I can group by, for example, supplier types by liability account like this. So I can group this petty cash as a standalone from the standard in suppliers, from employees like this. This just like a categorization, the petty cash suppliers and the standard suppliers, employee suppliers, whatever. The setup, it's very easy here, that you just go to procurement. Once you got the full access to create suppliers for a specific business unit, this is through procurement agent. Once you got this, you just go to suppliers, and I will define one here. Click create supplier. I will make name petty cash supplier. What is the business relationship? This is been authorized. What is the tax register organizations? Individual. I just click on create. This is a normal process to create suppliers, either through spreadsheet or direct manual without FBDI template. There are a lot of videos to how to create suppliers through FBDI. There are a lot of templates, supplier bank, supplier site assignment, bank account, all of this. I just need to complete it. Here, whatever I told you, that you can make a specific supplier type as employee, as petty cash, whatever. This is a list of values. You can define whatever values you need to categorize them later. For example, I will make it employee. If you have tax registrations, you can assign the tax registration here. What is the registration type? What is the TRN number? Blah blah blah. For the payment and the bank, what is the default payment methods? Whatever the payment method you define, it will showing here. What is the bank account? Also, you can click here and create a new bank account. I don't have. I just click address, create a new address like petty cash. Again, what is the country? What is the address line 1? What is the Emirates? Because this is depends on the country. In which address purpose are you going to remit to? Only ordering, RFQ or bidding? What is email? You just create, save, and add your address details. That's the sites. After sites, you will go to make site assignments to assign it to whatever the business unit. Just click create, select whatever the business unit you want to assign this, and make it primary pay or pay, purchasing, sourcing only. Save and close. And the last step, as I told you, that the site assignment to specific business units. Just go to sites and click on petty cash or edit. You can edit or click on sites and auto create. In the site assignment, you can auto create assignment. This is how to create, define suppliers. You can put specific type for these suppliers and liability account in this step. Once you make auto create assignment, you can assign here a specific liability account. This will be override whatever other the liability account for the invoice options, payable common, and procurement setups. Whatever you will put it here, it will be take precedence 1. The priority of this account will be the one. You can open the liability and assign whatever specific liability account for only petty cash suppliers. And again, this is up to your business requirement if they are going to assign a specific liability account for petty cash suppliers. Once you define, that's it. Save and close. Again, save and close, and done. The other thing that I show you before, that enable the options of the prepayment, that during enter the standard invoice, system will give you as a pop-up message that there are 1 or 2 or 3 prepayment available for these suppliers. Now we will talk about the 3 business cases of petty cash. 3 business cases of petty cash, and later we will check the accounting entries. What is the 3 business cases of the petty cash? First case, that I paid, for example, $1,000 for employee. I make a prepayment with 1,000 and I make prepayment $1,000 and I make payment fully paid, make it fully paid also 1,000 USD. Employee or the petty cash suppliers takes this amount, go to 000 and bring to me invoices as a total invoice amount the same 1,000. He take 1,000, he bring 1,000. In this case I will create standard invoice 1 or 2 or 3 whatever for $1,000, and the last step is apply prepayment to close the prepayment whatever he take. This is as a direct case. I take 1,000, I bring invoices for 1,000. So you make a prepayment, make it fully paid. Again, you create standard invoice once the employee bring the expenses invoices, and instead of you again paid, you just apply it and unapply it to this prepayment. Second case, that for example I will take the same. I paid 1,000, but the user or the employee or the petty cash, he bring invoices for 2,000 or $1,500. So in this case he paid more, 500 more than the prepayment he take. I paid to him as a prepayment 1,000 and paid fully paid. He takes the this $1,000, but he go to there and he bring to me invoices, but the total amount of these invoices is 1,500. In this case, you will apply first. You will make invoice, 1 invoice, 2 invoice, 3 invoice, whatever, how many invoices. But by the end, the total amount of those invoices will be 1,500. What you will do, you will apply the prepayment, which is 1,000 USD, to this invoice. So still there are 500 still not paid to the petty cash supplier. So in this case you will make more payment for the same invoice, more payment with $500. So I paid 1,000, petty cash suppliers take 1,000, go to 000, he bring invoices with amount more than 1,000. So in this case I have to close a prepayment of 1,000 which he is taking, and again I need to make a payment with the amount which is more than 1,000 of the prepayment. What is the third business cases, or the third case? That I will take the same. I paid 1000, prepayment 1000, make it fully paid with 1000. But in this case that he bring that invoices of 900 USD. So there are $100 he must give me back because he just bought expenses by 900 USD. In this case I will apply and unapply the same 1000 to this invoice, and this prepayment will be give me or will show that there are 100 USD still applicable to apply to another invoices. But I don't have any other invoices because the employees or the petty cash, he bring the invoices of the expense plus he give me back the 100 USD. So in this case I need to take it from the petty cash suppliers and either put it in my cash, put it in whatever, make it refund. So I will make it as a refund from the petty cash suppliers to by the end to close the 1000 prepayment USD which is taken. So in this case you will make prepayment, make fully paid, he bring invoices by only 900 USD, you make apply and unapply. So this there are $100 remaining. So what I will do, I will create 2 more invoices. To close the prepayment and to make refund of this 100 invoice. I will make a standard invoice for 100 USD. What the distribution account in this case, you can use any clearing account, AB clearing account, cash clearing account, whatever the clearing account in the distribution. The second invoice will be debit memo by the same also 100 USD, and use the same also AB clearing account. So the net of AB clearing account will be 0. Here is in the standard invoice is a debit, in the debit memo is a credit, so the net will be zeros. And for the standard invoice which is 100, you will make it apply to the prepayment to close what? To close this 100 remaining USD. Let me change it to... So for the debit memo you cannot apply or you cannot pay because debit memo in a negative sign. So in this case you will make what? You will make, once you make any payment, you make payment for the debit memo, it will show like refund. So you can make refund of what? Refund of $100 which is come back again to you from the petty cash suppliers. So again I paid 1000. Petty cash suppliers go to here and there, blah blah blah, come again by the invoices, but when I checked the total amount of these invoices I found total amount is 900, but actual I paid to him 1000. So he brings this 900 amount of invoices plus $100 in a cash, he gave it back to me. In this case he need to close his prepayment and I need to make a refund of this 100 either in cash or whatever, in bank, whatever the methods you will use, but by the end you need to close this prepayment. I hope now you got what is the three business cases. The first business cases, I take 1000, bring 1000. Second, I take 1000, I bring invoices by amount more than 1000, whatever, by 1200, 2000, 3000, whatever. Third case is no, I bring invoices with amount less than the prepayment amount. In this case, you have to create two more invoices as a standard to close the prepayment, and the other one to refund the remaining money or remaining amount. This is the three business cases of the petty cash. If you using as a workaround or whatever, if you don't purchase the expense modules and you need to use accounts payables for the cycle of the petty cash. Let's navigate to the Oracle. I just go to payables, go to payable invoices, payables, create invoice. If we start by the first one or the first case, what is the first case here? I make prepayment by 1000, whatever the currency, and make it fully paid, and again I will make standard invoice and make apply and unapply. So let's start. This is a form of the create invoice. What is the business unit? What is the suppliers? We already created is petty cash suppliers. What is the number? I can prepayment 1. What is the amount? 1000. Here you have to check prepayment. Here, how to know that this prepayment is permanent or temporary, because as I told you that there are two types of prepayment: permanent, which is not applicable to apply it to any invoices, and temporarily you can apply it to standard invoice. Once you select prepayment, just click on show more. You will find checkbox allow prepayment application. By default, this is temporarily prepayment. Because of what? Because allow prepayment application, what does it mean? It means that you can, once you make a prepayment and make a payment fully paid for this prepayment, it will applicable for you to what? To apply to any standard invoice. So by default, by enable this checkbox, this prepayment type is temporarily. Once you disable, what does it mean? That this prepayment will be permanent prepayment, that you cannot apply it to any standard invoice. What will happen if I by mistakenly I uncheck this allow prepayment? So it will be a permanent prepayment, and later and make a fully paid blah blah blah, I finished, but later I need to apply it to invoices. This is very easy, that you can go to manage invoice, search by the invoice, came here and make invoice and invoice action edit, and make allow of this checkbox. Once you allow this checkbox, you can come back again to the standard invoice and make invoice actions apply and unapply. You will find this will be appear with you. So the option to allow or disable is applicable for you if by mistake you uncheck this allow prepayment application. Once you allow it, you will find here apply after which date. You can apply it after today date, any other dates. This is also depends on your business case. And go to lines. You will find the prepaid expenses class is came here as defaulted from the setup of common payables and invoice options and all of these setups. What is the amount here? I will put 1000. What about the tax? What about the budget? Blah blah blah. Tax I will select as a user defined is not applicable. Also, if you need to disable the prepayment or the tax on the prepayments, you can make a custom rules in tax setup that the prepayment, once the transaction type is prepayment, the tax will be not applicable. If you don't need to make these rules, you just come here to select whatever rate, zeros, out of scope, not applicable, whatever, to disable the tax during make a prepayment. That's it. Save, validate. It's unpaid. Once you paid, it will be applicable for you to apply to any standard invoice. I just make post to ledger. You have to check that invoice must be approved. I will make it force approval. Once I force approval, I can make post to ledger to check the first accounting entries. Must be approved. We will check this approval here. It's manually approved. I just click save. Again, post to ledger. It will be accounted. What is accounting here? This is a normal accounting that prepaid expense is debit and liability credit. Liability of the petty cash suppliers, and this prepaid because the invoice type is prepayment. Once you make a payment, the liability will be debit and whatever the bank cash clearing will be credit. This is the normal accounting. I just make save and close and go to payment. You can create a payment to just come here and create a payment, business unit, supplier petty cash. What is the disbursement? But I think there is one required field I have to enter. This is my invoice. There is one payment reasons in installment. This is in my organizations that it must be required. Just I make it GOV, save and close, and again come here. What is a disbursement bank account? What is the payment process profile? What is the payment document? Here also there is one additional informations. Just come here to add the invoice. You will find prepayment invoice. Just click OK. You can also update the amount if you need, but in this case I need to fully paid of this invoice. Save and close. You will find it as fully paid. The value BIC is required because it's bank transfer. So what is the payment details? Here there is no any bank account, so let me make this is delete, but again I need to change it to any other. If it's possible to check cash or wire or check. Save and close, save and close. Again I can come here to enable it to check, so the payment bank account it will not be possible. Again add and select OK and save and close. The payment has been created. Once you come here again to check this prepayment, you will find it is available. Available means it's applicable now to apply to any standard invoice. Save and close. Now what we said, that we make prepayment, we paid. Now the users bring, or the petty cash supplier bring expenses invoices. So what I will do, I will make standard invoice for the 1000. Just I will create again business units, suppliers, amount, sorry, here expense P1 for example, he bring 1000 standard, the same date, and go to lines. I will put only one line. You have the option to enter a lot of lines. This depends expenses, whatever he bring, expenses for tea, for services, for whatever. And I will select here, for example, whatever expenses started by 5, and again if there any VAT or not, tax or not. Save. Not validated, just click on validate, and you can make post to ledger. Again, must be approved, so I will force approve it. Save and post to ledger. It's okay. Accounted, as you know, this account will be debited, the supplier account will be credited. Okay, what now? The next step is apply and unapply, because I already given to him prepayment before, so I don't need to repay again this invoice. So again, I just get to here, instead of make pay in full or whatever, I just make apply and unapply. Apply and unapply, you will find my prepayment one. Because of what? Because during create the prepayment, I select allow prepayment applications. What does it mean? It's temporarily prepayment which is will appear or will showing during make apply and unapply. You just select whatever the prepayment here, 1 or 2 or 3. You can apply also specific amount, you can choose a specific accounting date. Once you select, you just make apply. Once you apply it, it's applied here, done. Needs revalidations, again make validate. And if you need to post to ledger, you can see the view accounting. The first view accounting is petty cash credit, expense debit. Again, once you make apply and unapply, the apply and unapply, what will do, it will close the liability as a petty cash suppliers with expense or prepaid expense account, and again the net of will be debit expense account here, whatever you bought it here, and credit prepaid expense. As you see here, liability item expense, liability prepaid expense. Liability is debit and credit, because the first is credit and item expense is debit. Once you make apply and unapply prepaid, the prepayment will be credit and item expense will be debit. This is the net or the net of these accounting entries. So the prepayment is now credited, but in the first prepayment, once you make a prepayment, it was there a debit. So prepayment now closed and the liability is closed. Only debit the liability or the item expense, and the credit is the bank which you paid the prepayment from the bank, from the cash, from whatever. So this is the net or the T account of this process. Just done. Now I will click save and close. I will come back to my prepaid. Now is fully applied. The first status is unpaid. Once you paid is applicable or available. Once you apply to whatever the invoices, 1 or 2 or 3 invoices, is changed to fully applied. Fully applied means that this prepayment is applied to specific or a lot of invoices, so it will not be again applicable or available for apply and unapply. Save and close. If we go to the second case is normal, we will create the same, that create a prepayment also by 1000, 2000, whatever, BT prepayment to 2000. I will select prepayment, show more to make it allow prepayment. Lines the same, it will be prepaid expenses 2000 and there is no tax, not applicable. Save, validate, approve, validate and force approval. And you can make post to ledger. You can also select unpaid is manually approved, so I just cancel. We can come here to pre2, just pre2 and invoice edit. This is what I told you before, that if I uncheck the allow prepayment applications, you can search by the invoice, go to here, edit, again show more and allow prepayment applications to be applicable or available with you during make a standard invoice. Just again and post to ledger. The same accounting will be the same, as you know that prepaid expense is debit, liability is credit of the petty cash suppliers. And I just change the prepayment or payment method for check. Save and close. Save and close. Now it's still unpaid. I make save and close. Done. Again go to payment to make a payment, and again this is payment. Just come here, create payment, whatever the business unit, and petty cash and disbursement account. What is the payment method? The payment method here must be matched with the payment method in the invoices to allow you to select the invoices. P2, come here and select the P2. Okay, here also you can manage the amount if you want. If not, خلاص, save and close. Again it will ask me the payment reason, sorry for that, so I will come back to the P2 and select my payment reason, invoice edit, action, installment. I will put payment reason, save and close, done, and delete and select it again. Just okay, it will be appearing here, save and close. Has been created. What we said that he bring invoices for more than the prepayment amount, so I will come here and I will create one invoice, standard invoice of the expenses of more than 2000. So petty cash pre2 expenses invoice 5000 for example. Again you can go to this standard, you can make 5000 in one line or two line or three line, whatever, and put your distribution account of whatever the expenses they bring. Select department account. Okay, again whatever the tax is there or not. If not, you have to select not applicable or zeros. Save, invoice validate, force approval or initiate approval. Now also I can make post to ledger. This is the debit must be approved. I think it's manually approved. It's manually approved. I just click on save and try again to post on the ledger. So now it's creating accounting. As you know, the distribution here is a debit, liability will be credit. Here what we will do, we will first apply and unapply the prepayment of 2000, right? To close the prepayment, just apply, done. Once you applied, it's need revalidations, validate. Again the same accounting entries, prepaid expense, liability and item expense. Once you come here, you will find it partially accounted, and here 2000 only paid of 5000. Just come here to post to ledger again, and if you go to manage payment to create, just save and close, go to payment, create payment to pay the net, the 3000 again, because he paid more than the prepayment amount by $3000. So I can come here to select the, really I forget what is the prepaid to P2 expense. I have to select the, again, what is the payment reason, what is whatever you will paid, because it's paid, so it's will be bank transfer. So in this case what I will do, I will apply and unapply, because by mistake I apply, so I will unapply and done. And again save, check the payment method, it will be applicable. To change it, I will change it to check and make it gov. Once I selected, select and close, again save, invoice action validate, again apply or force approval. It's already a force approval before. I just make apply and done, apply to the same invoice, apply, done, validate, post to ledger. What I did, I have tried to change the payment method, but when I go to payment method I found it's as attempt, I cannot update. Because what? Because I already applied and unapplied prepayment. What I did, I unapplied the prepayment, saved, and again I came here, I found this field is like this, I can change it. I change it to check and put my payment reason, and again I applied and unapplied to the prepayment. Once you come here, you will find again 2000 is paid of the 5000. So I just save and close, go to payment, select check, select my petty cash supplier, select the payment process of the check, the additional information, P2 expense for example. And once you go to invoices, you will find my hour, but only unpaid is 3000, because 2000 you paid by the prepayment, the 3000 you can pay by check, bank transfer, whatever, because the petty cash suppliers paid more than 3000, more than the amount of the prepayment. Okay, save and close. Now what you did, whatever he paid 5000 more, 500, you make another payment to pay the amount. This is the second case that he paid more. I also make another payment to close the amount which he is paid from his pocket money. What's the third business case? That again I go to invoices, create invoice, whatever, 2000, 3000, 4000. Here petty cash, again also 3000, 3000, prepayment. What I will do, I will uncheck this. Uncheck means it will be permanent prepayment. I will just need to show you what will happen. Lines, I put 3000 prepaid expense by default, and invoice here is not applicable, the tax, so just make save, validate to check the validated or not, and make force approval, and make my changes to government, and here check or whatever, save and close, and make post to ledger. Now this is still unpaid, so I will make payment, create a payment for the same suppliers as FD. Petty cash. What is the disbursement bank account? What is the payment method? Is a sheet. What is the payment process profile? What is additional information? P as 3 as a payment case 3. What is the invoices? I will make this is only the 3000. Okay, and save and close. Okay, once you come here, save and close, check again is 3000. Okay, no problem, save. Here permanent prepayment. What does it mean? That you cannot make any apply for this permanent. So what you will do, I just search for this invoice. I just come here to put the number. If you remember, you can put the supplier again. Just manage edit. Again, show more, just show more, and make allow. That's it. Once you make it allow, it will change it from permanent to temporarily. Save. It's available now. Available means you can apply it to the invoices. Just save and close. Let's start to create. Now I paid 3000. The users bring invoices by 2000 instead of the 3000. So I will create invoice FD petty cash. I will put here, for example, 2900. This is pre-X3 case, as he bring 2900. Whatever the expenses, you will put it here. One line, no, to 100 line, whatever. Just select the expense account of these distributions and validate, approve, apply, blah blah blah. What is the tax? Not applicable. Go to save and validate and force approval or initiate, whatever. Save. I just need to post to ledger. The expense will be debit, liability account of the petty cash suppliers will be credit. Here what I will do, I will apply and unapply. Once I make apply and unapply, I will find that he take 3000 prepayment, but he bring 2900 plus he bring to me, give me back 100 dirham or dollar to make it refund. In this case, what I will do, I will apply it here to apply what? 2900. Done. Just apply. But I need to check the check or cash like before. Done. Just manage installment. Is it? I will make it cash or whatever. Just GOV. I think it will not be useful here because I will fully pay it. Just save here, apply and unapply to my prepayment, which is 3000. Done. Okay, and validate and post to ledger. Post to ledger, as you know, that it will also give you prepaid expense, liability, item. The net will be prepaid expense and item expense. Okay. Here, if you check here that there are a lot of debit, credit, because what? Because you apply and apply, apply and unapply. Once you make apply and apply, it will give you here debit, credit. Again, apply and apply, debit and credit, blah blah blah. Okay, okay. That's it. This is once you come here, it will be paid the total. But if you come back to the prepayment, the 3000, I think the number of it is 3000, this one, what we say that is still available because what? Because of you applied only 2900. If you make any other invoices by 100, you will find this is applicable to you to make apply. In this case, what we will do, we will make two invoices. One is standard to what? To close the net amount of the prepayment, in our case is 100, and another debit memo to close what? To make a refund in our cash and to close the clearing account. Let's come here and do it. The first one, we will create invoice, standard invoice for petty cash. We will do it 100 dirham, whatever dollar, to what? To knock off or to close the prepayment amount. Here what we will do, we can put any cash clearing account, any account. You can create a one cash clearing or petty cash clearing account in your chart of account, or you select any clearing account. Just I will select this in English, in Arabic, sorry, it's clearing account. Okay, so the clearing account here in this standard will be debit. Later when I make a debit memo, it will be credit, so the net will be 0. Again, save, and here no need to manage installment because you will apply to the prepayment. And approval as a force approval, post to ledger again must be approved. Okay, save, and post to ledger. The distribution will be as a clearing is debit. The liability account of the petty cash will be credit. Now this invoice for what? To close the remaining amount of the prepayment. So once you do it, you just come here, apply and unapply. You will find the prepayment by 100. So apply and done. Now you close what? You close the prepayment by 100. Again, validate and post to ledger to close the prepayment. In case of now you come back to the prepayment, whatever is 3000, you will find it is what? Khalas. It will not be applicable. It's fully applied. Before available. Fully applied because what? Because now the 100 amount which was remaining, you close it with a new invoice. Save and close. So now what we did, we make invoice for the AB clearing account to close. This is done. What about the AB clearing account still not closed, and also we didn't make a refund for the remaining amount in our cash? So we will come back to create a debit memo for the same supplier. Here we will select debit memo or credit memo. I will make it minus 100 and lines the same. Our clearing account, just select it again, because in debit memo it will be credited and the standard is debited, so it will knock off or it will be net 0. the same our account. Okay, also there is no VAT, and save. Try to validate. It's validated, and force approval. Save, post to ledger. Here, because it's debit memo or credit memo, so the expense will be credit, liability will be debit. Done. Again, I just need to select this amount in which way you will receive it. Now you take this amount from the petty cash suppliers. Whatever you need it to refund, check or cash or whatever, you have to select it here and save and close. Now everything is done. Now I will go to make a payment, but in this payment it will not be a manual or a quick, because you cannot make a payment for debit memo. In this case, you will select a refund. Create payment. Again, what is the FD? Petty cash suppliers. And here, refund. Refund means I will take this refund. Here, this is no sequence assigned. No problem. It is good for us that in GL Ledger, if you enable sequence for using for AP and AR, you will get error if you didn't assign any sequence to the what category? Supplier refund payment. What you will do in this case, you will take it copy, just go to setup and maintenance, and here just sequence, manage payable document sequence, manage payable, whatever you can search. Here there are a lot of payments. I just make my FD. I define for each business unit by the code. Payment, this one, just this is a sequence. What is the sequence name? What is the application modules? What is the type? Is it gapless, manual, automatic? What is start date, end date? Just once you save it, you just go to here to define the which document you are or category. I will select my category, what? Refund, supplier, payment. Refund here, just I make it will come or not. Supplier refund payment, search this. Okay, method null, start date and end date will be the same or without end date. What is the ledger? Here the end date is not formatted. And what is ledger? My ledger. That's it. Save and close. Go to here. Okay, try to make manual, make it refund. The error is gone. Again, what is the payment method? I think it's check. Here I must choose cash because there is no check. Maybe whatever the way, just make refund. And the payment or the invoice is not showing because I select check. Let me select the invoices to check why it's not showing here. What is the number? I think -100. Here invoice manage installment, check everything is okay. Save and close. Is it accounted? Okay, validated, manually accounted, reserved, petty cash suppliers. Okay, save and close. Here cancel. I will create it from scratch, create a payment, business unit, petty cash supplier, refund. What is a disbursement bank account? What is check? Still not showing. Still not showing because the type is again validated, reserved, counted. Is it minus? So debit memo, petty cash, FD, everything is the same. Now if I go to create a payment for refund, create payment, I just added one setup here that I make paper document number as a required, not read only. How I achieved that? This is through sandbox. For example, like this example, you have to enable sandbox, try to enter a payment, in our case to enter a payment, then select structure from here as you see here. Once you create a sandbox and go to the required form like payment or invoice, whatever, you just go to your user, like these users, just come here and make edit page. Once you make edit page, you will find structure button. It will be appear here like this example. Sorry, like this structure. I will make zoom. Once you make structure, you select the proper field. In our case is paper document, this one, paper document number. Then you can go to down and select this adjustment to make edit. You select the proper name, identifying PO, paper document, blah blah blah, and select these options and make it not visible only. Select also it's required, like these options. Read only, no, and uncheck this checkbox and make republish or publish the sandbox. I think there are a lot of videos to how to make a field is required, but I can do it in front of you. Just go to here, configurations, make sandbox, create sandbox. For example, create sandbox, select paper document, for example AB document, select all of these options, this is to allow you to make adjustments, like make the very two important here is a page composer and the page template composer. Once you create it, create and enter, you will find your sandbox. It will be appear here. Now you have to go to the proper form or page, like example in create payment. Now I need to make specific field in payment page as a required. I go to payment, try to create a new payment. So this is my page. For example, I need to make a description is a required. First of all, you have to go to here, make edit page. Once you edit page, you will find structure appear here. This is one. Select structure. I will select any business unit. Okay, select the let me select a different business unit and any of the suppliers, select the bank for example, then try to click on restructure. Just come here like this search area, click on it, edit, yes, then go down, select, you can just increase it. This is input text description, it's correct, click here and go to down, it's read only, yes or no, just go to down, show required, yes or no, this is up to you. Is it required, make it required, if it not, make it not, if it or just read only, there is no data must be entered, this is also up to you, and apply and OK. Once you make apply and OK, just close and make the publish of, click here, publish, and publish your sandbox. Once you published and log out and re-log in again, you will find this field as a descriptions which you selected before will be required, like this one as asterisk will be appear here and it will be required. What I did the same for the paper document number to make it required. Now let me exit or leave and yes, go to my payment to close our refund payment. I will select FD and our supplier is petty cash. Let me refresh the page or just go to home. Go to payable payment, create a new payment, select the business unit, supplier, our supplier is petty cash, payment date, I will select type here as a refund, just click on the disbursement, just try to enter any data, select the bank, for example this is okay. I will select, each time it will ask you to make a number, this is our number. Once I entered here, this is now is visible, just I need to enter the required as a refund payment, come to add invoices to select your invoices, this is our debit memo, okay, and save and close. It will check and make validation. Now it's created. So now we completed the full cycles of the third business case. Our third business case, as you see here, that you paid 1000 but the petty cash suppliers just bring invoices with amount is less than the prepayment amount paid. So in this case you will make two more invoices, standard with AB clearing, petty cash clearing, whatever clearing account you will use, and the other debit memo. This is standard with the amount or remaining amount you will be applied to the prepayment to close the amount remaining, and for the debit memo you can make it refund in your cash, in your bank, whatever. So this is our 3 business cases for the petty cash. What is the prepayment type, what is how to close the petty cash, how to change the type from permanent to temporarily, how to apply, how to unapply, how to use the petty cash cycles, what is the setup required, how to make, for example, a specific field in a specific page or form as required. I hope now to got overview of the petty cash cycles. If you are required to implement it through accounts payable, either cloud or e-business, without expense modules. And also I hope now to got what is the type of the prepayment, how to select the type of the prepayment during enter it in accounts payables, how to change it, and all of this. Thanks for watching.